Hey, what's up guys? Phil coming at you with a new Magic the Gathering video, and today we're going to be doing, like I promised in my 2020 bundle opening, we're going to be cracking open the Chandra intro deck. I managed to get all 5 intro decks for a really good price, so I will be opening the other 4 on the channel as well. We'll be cracking these open, going through the cards in them, as well as cracking the booster pack, and hopefully we can pull something really cool. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my Core Set 2020 bundle opening, because that video was insane. We got some really cool cards in that, and of course, hoping to pull some cool cards from the booster from this pack. Now, of course, this pack only comes, each of these only come with 1 booster, so you have less of a chance to pull more valuable stuff, but they are random packs, so who knows. Alright, so inside each box you're receiving your deck box with your character on it, which is an artwork that we see of the character on the box itself, as well as you receive your foil Planeswalker promo. Now this is well, not really a promo, but this is an exclusive Planeswalker that you receive for each intro deck. They're not great because they're intro deck walkers, but we're going to take a look at their effects anyway. So we've got Chandra Flames Fury. She's a 6-drop legendary Chandra Planeswalker for 4 loyalty. She has 3 abilities. Her first ability for +1 deals 2 damage to any target. -2, she deals 4 damage to 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. And for -8, she deals 10 damage to target player and each creature that player controls. Now, I've had a look at the ultis on all of these Planeswalkers. They're actually not bad. The problem is getting them to their ultis is quite difficult, considering that Chandra can only plus herself 1, so she has to live basically for at least 5 turns before she can use her ulti, which isn't really going to happen, which is one of the main reasons why these decks aren't super competitive. More or less, they are good for teaching and playing against each other. So I figured we'd start things off by cracking open the pack, and then we're going to jump into the intro deck itself, because the pack could be anything. The intro deck, of course, is normal. So these are standard 15-card packs. So we have the Unholy Identurer, Steadfast Sentry, Act of Treason, Audacious Thief, Infuriate. You probably would have seen a bunch of these cards from my bundle opening. Silverback Shaman, Reduced to Ashes, Fairy Miscreant, Agonizing Siphon, Manifold Key, Corpse Knight, and hey, very nice, Chandra Novice Pyromancer. So we pulled a second Chandra in our Chandra pack, and this is actually, I think, one of the stores I went to the other day was selling this for $2. I actually need this for my standard deck. And for our rare, we have Leyline of the Void. Very nice. So a decent rare and a decent uncommon from our pack, and we have a foil, Fairy Miscreant. So not a terrible pack. We didn't necessarily break even on the pack, but hey, we pulled some cool cards that are actually really useful. Now, we're going to open up the intro deck itself and take a look at it. The first card we get in the intro deck, of course, we will normally get a second legendary creature or a decent rare, and that is Draxuth, Maw of Flames. He is a 7-drop legendary 7/7 dragon with flying, and when he attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to up to 2 other targets. Now, of course, in standard, this guy's not really going to be making too much of an effort unless you unless you can get a ton of mana out on the field really quickly. In Commander, something like Dragon or Kalia, this guy can be pretty devastating, so he's a nice card. We have 2 copies of Chandra's Flamewave. So Chandra's Flamewave deals 2 damage to target player and each creature that player controls. Search your library and or graveyard for a card named Chandra Flames Fury, and if you do, add it to your hand. If you search your library shuffle. Obviously, you get one of these ways to search your main Planeswalker with every intro deck. We also get one other rare, and that is the Shivan Dragon. It's a core set, so we're bound to see the Shivan Dragon. So yeah, the intro deck is in a weird kind of order, so let's quickly change that up so it doesn't look as awkward. All right, so we get 3 copies of Chandra's Spitfire. Oh, sorry, 4 copies of Chandra's Spitfire. Yeah, so they don't put this thing in order. It's really weird. So it is a 3-drop 1/3 elemental with flying, and whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage, it gets +3/+0. Pretty decent in this in a Chandra deck. You're going to be doing a lot of burn, of course, as Shock was reprinted and actually included at 4. Is included at 4 copies in the intro deck. We have 3 copies of the Ember Herder. So the Ember Hauler, sorry, is a 2-drop 2/2 goblin where you can pay 1, sack it, and it deals 2 damage to any target. Very, very nice. Especially in this whole intro deck showdown. We have 4 copies of the pack Mischief. It's a 2-drop 2/2 where you can pay 1 colorless and a red, and each creature you control named Pack Mischiefs gets +1/+0. So very nice. We have some Scorch Spitters. Scorch Spitter, you only get 3 copies, but it's really good. It's a 1-drop 1/1 that when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So you combo this off with Spitfire, and obviously Spitfire is going to get pretty big pretty quickly. 3 copies of Pyroclastic Elemental. It is a 5-drop 5/4 where you can pay 3 to deal 1 damage to target player. It's to deal 1 damage. It's not amazing, but again, it's an intro deck, so what do you expect? And then the last creature we get are 4 copies of Wildfire Elemental. So when the opponent is dealt non-combat damage, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. So it's actually a little bit better in my opinion than Pyroclastic Elemental, but at the end of the day, it's still a common, so what are you going to do? You get a bunch of mountains. What did you expect? It's Chandra, it's mono red. So moving on to the instants and sorceries, we get 3 copies of Chandra's Outrage. Chandra's Outrage, of course, is a 4-drop instant that deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. I think it's nice that we are getting some key, Chandra-named cards in this set, in this pack. I know in the Dominaria, we got Caspian Hound, I think it was, which is a card that did damage if you had a Chandra Planeswalker and attacked, which is nice. But it's nice we're also getting some key, Chandra spells here. We have 2 copies of Infuriate, which is really good. It's a 1-drop instant that gets target creature +3/+2. And if you've noticed, a lot of the creatures in this deck are a little bit weak. So it's nice to be able to have some combat tricks. And rounding it off, we have 4 copies of Shock. Anyway, guys, that is it for the intro deck. We went through the pack. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be picking one of these up. I like Chandra, and I mean, I got them cheap, so I was able to, get the pack. And we did all right on the pack. But at the end of the day, in terms of value of these, it always comes down to what you pull from the pack and how much you really value, that key planeswalker. In the front, getting the dragon, the legendary dragon, is nice. It is in the set and it's not super expensive. So at the end of the day, it's not super expensive, and it really doesn't make up for the pack. Make up for the price of the intro deck. But getting Leyline of the Void, I mean, whilst it doesn't break us even in terms of overall retail price of this set, of this pack, it is a nice card to pull nonetheless. Now that that's out of the way, guys, we do have the other 4 intro decks. We have Vivian, we have Yangling, we have Sorin, and of course, we have Ajani. So I'm going to be opening up another one of these very, very soon on the channel. Which will it be? Which one would you like to see? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, like I said, check out some of the other epic 2020 videos we have up here on the channel. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave some comments below with what you thoughts were on the contents of this intro deck. If you got one, what'd you get in your pack? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you for my next video.